Welcome to McClinton Roy's Raw, Uncut Contract Knowledge, R.U.C.K, Episode 1, Federal Contracting 101. The purpose of this short video is to provide a simplified and broad overview of procurement processes to enhance the collective understanding of U.S. government contractors. Let's start with a quote by Major General retired Darrell Scott, who once said the bare necessities required to execute a contract are a pen, a napkin, and a dollar. Now, what General Scott has done is to break down the complexities of the federal acquisition system into 3 simple steps, and that's exactly what we here at McClinton Roy look to do in our R.U.C.K training series. That is, to break down the complexities of the federal procurement system into actionable and executable steps to help make you more competitive in the federal marketplace. Let's get started. The first thing to understand is that the U.S. government is the largest customer you will potentially ever have. This statement is evidenced by the FY17 spend to date numbers that you see for Health and Human Services, the Social Security Administration, the VA, and the Department of Defense. Digging into the DoD spend for a quick second, we see that FY17 spend to date is $47 billion. However, in FY16 they spent $303 billion, and in FY15 they spent $279 billion. You may be asking yourself why such a discrepancy exists. Well, the quick answer is 1. We are only halfway through the fiscal year. 2. Sequestration remains the law of the land. And 3. The department is currently operating under a continuing resolution since there is no FY17 Defense Appropriations Act as of the date of this recording. The bottom line takeaway is the U.S. government is in fact the largest potential customer you will ever see, and the federal marketplace is ripe for opportunity for companies who have quality and dependable goods and services, know how to market to the federal marketplace, and understand how to leverage the procurement laws and regulations to their favor. The next step to understand is how to market your goods or services to the U.S. government. You must first identify your product or service and must understand its application to the U.S. government. Your business must also be registered in SAMS, or System for Award Management. You must identify your target market within the federal government. Simply stating that you are marketing to the entire federal government is not sufficient, given that we've already discussed how large the federal government actually is. You must understand the needs of the specific agency, department, or requiring activity, and understand how your product or service meets an existing need or requirement. Next, you need to identify the current government procurement opportunities. The departments help you out with this in that they forecast these opportunities and post them on their websites. You need to familiarize yourself with the federal contracting procedure, starting with the Federal Acquisition Regulation and working to the agency-specific supplements as required to understand the rules of the game. You should also investigate Federal Supply Schedule contracts. For those who don't know, Federal Supply Schedule contracts are pre-negotiated contract vehicles that help expedite the procurement process. You need to be prepared to seek additional assistance as required. While it may be commonplace to seek the assistance of an accountant, a bookkeeper, or maybe even a lawyer, some companies remain reluctant to seek the support of a consultant or teaming partner to strengthen an existing weakness. You need to also explore subcontracting opportunities. The government has established government-wide and multiple award contracts with ceilings in excess of $1 billion. If you find yourself on the outside of one of these opportunities, you should immediately identify the primes and initiate discussions to be a subcontractor. This will help you develop relationships within the government and enhance your understanding of the government processes. It will also help you to generate some positive past performance and revenue. You need to also investigate U.S. government small business programs and understand what socioeconomic programs you qualify for, as these can help strengthen your competitive stance and potentially qualify you for some direct award contract opportunities. More on that later. And last but certainly not least, you need to know marketing basics. You need to know how to get the right message to the right person at the right time. A quick overview of the requirements process. Everything starts with a requirement. You need to understand what you are selling, who you are selling it to, and the government applications to include how your product or service could be modified to meet an existing or emerging requirement, and you need to begin developing relationships and marketing to the requiring activity as well as the procurement office. In the federal procurement market, it is not necessarily about who you know, but who knows you, your product, and/or service. Contracting 101. The government buys products and services in accordance with the laws and regulations as codified in the Federal Acquisition Regulation. and these laws and regulations encourage competition to the maximum extent practicable. However, there are exceptions, and you need to understand what those exceptions are if you are to win. As previously discussed, the U.S. government is the largest potential customer you will ever see, and the government expects best customer pricing. Circling back to the small business programs, the government is required by law to set aside opportunities for approximately 20% of all government spend for small businesses, and your participation in these socioeconomic programs can result in direct award or limited competition opportunities. Drilling down a little bit more into the contracting process, the requiring activity first identifies their need and submits a requirement package to the procuring activity. Finance then funds the requirement to ensure compliance with the Anti-Deficiency Act, and the contracting office then reviews the requirement, develops the acquisition strategy, assembles a solicitation package, solicits the requirement in accordance with the developed acquisition strategy, posts the solicitation of FedBizOpps, GSA Advantage, or other public portal, and the contractors then develop and submit proposals, and a contract is awarded. Contractor then performs the work, and the U.S. government accepts the performance and makes final payment. A couple parting thoughts. Number one, you need to learn to make FedBizOpps work for you. As previously discussed, FedBizOpps is the public portal where the government posts requests for information, solicitations, and other contractual actions that require posting to the general public. A simple login and password is all you need to search this database of opportunities. FedBizOpps even allows you to save your searches and set alerts so that the opportunities that meet your stated criteria can be emailed directly into your inbox. Number two, the SBA has developed an amazing portfolio of videos with lessons instructing companies step by step how to do business with the government and answer many of your questions. Well, that's it for R.U.C.K episode number 1. Thanks for joining us, and please remember to click the subscribe button below, leave comments, let us know if we made a mistake, or propose future topics. For more information on McClinton Roy, please visit our website at www.mcclintonandroy.com. That's www.mcclintonandroy.com. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Our handle is @McClinton and Roy. We thank you for joining us and look forward to next time.